Cup of tea, please. Or some food. So Family Services at the Cardinal Hume Centre is a space where the whole family can come and get support. We work with children and their parents, and children can start from newborn right up to 13 or 14 because we run drop-ins for families who might be feeling isolated, and we provide a lovely stay and play activities for the children to help them with their learning and development. We also run an after-school club, holiday schemes and homework support for older children. And within that we support families by referring them to our internal services such as housing, benefits advice and immigration and employment advice, and other external partners that who we work with. She likes the camera. I think it's been really awful for the children not to be socialising. I think the very young children, families that we used to see in the mornings, have really suffered, including their parents. They haven't got friends to talk to, they haven't got people to bounce off ideas, and the children really need to develop socially and emotionally through play. And obviously our older children have also suffered, but they've established, a lot of them have siblings, so they've established some sort of play activities. But I think all children have suffered, but we are concerned about the very young children, and for that reason we've remained open so that they can come. Many of our families are in studio flats in very unsuitable accommodation. We're really proud that we opened up for these families, including older children when when everybody was on lockdown, and we did that safely by doing it one family at a time. But yeah, I think it's had a really big impact, and I think we need to be really focusing on really trying to shore them up for the future from now on. So we've got lots of plans in the pipeline. We've been very thorough, and what we do is when I mentioned that we've been seeing one family at a time, and by what we do is we have a box with that child's name on, or the children's name on, the parent's name on, the day of the week. Those toys go back, get put away, and they get brought out each time. We do wash them as well, but we don't need to wash them all the time. But we wash down all the surfaces in between families, and we keep the garden door up. We're lucky we have an outside space, so we have lots of ventilation. We wear masks when it is necessary, and we manage to keep distance. Well, at the beginning of the first lockdown, we noticed a real need for nappies and food vouchers, and I think lots of people were losing their jobs. People couldn't get access to things, and so we were able to supply quite a lot of families with that and food. It was quite startling how this became quite an apparent need. And a lot of my colleagues in other areas were saying the same thing. They're very expensive nappies, so that was a big one. We're still providing nappies because that hasn't really changed. And those are the kind of physical needs. Help with clothes, help with children's, woolly things for the winter, which we were able to provide. And toys and books, and of course access to IT. So during the first lockdown, the older children weren't going to school either, so we were able to provide our IT suite and support from some volunteers and somebody from the employment and learning team to help these older children with their homework. We also had a volunteer teacher coming in and helping some of the children because parents were overwhelmed by the amount of work and couldn't really help them because they were looking after younger children, or English is not their first language. So parents were overwhelmed, which created quite a bit of stress, and the children were a bit overwhelmed. So we could provide the play space and also the support, which I think alleviated a lot of stress. But in terms of physical needs, it would be nappies, food and clothing, and of course access to benefits advice, things like that. Well, I really feel strongly that it was important that we were open for those families, one family at a time coming in, and I absolutely know that for some of those families we were a lifeline. We've been told it, but the children, you can just tell through the children's behaviour and development and the mother's confidence, and at the best of times it's important for children to be able to play and families to be together. So I know that this was crucial for a lot of our families. A lot of them would come 3 or 4 times a week needing different things, food, books. We could supply that, but we also were there to listen, to be supportive, to give ideas, to just encourage and be a friend.
It's called Nurus. It's like the New Year nuts. And
we've had quite a few new families because we work very closely with the Bessborough Family Hub and the outreach team, the Family Navigators and Family Lives, which are an outreach family support charity. And we get referrals when a family is in need of coming for some space or to come somewhere safe, to bring their child to come and play. They will see if we have an available space. So we've had quite a few referrals, yeah.
fantastic.
So we do, yeah, because this is a centre for families and under 5s, we get quite a lot of pregnant women, and at the moment, currently, we have a family who are living in a hotel because they're refugees, and one of the women is pregnant. So we're all trying to support the family as best we can. We've had babies that were very, very young during lockdown, and now they're a year older, so that's been quite nice to see because we've been giving them consistent access to our services, and this is the place where they've been able to come and play because there's very few places apart from the park, and even the playgrounds were closed in the first lockdown, and the babies weren't able to access that either. So yeah, we support the whole family, so from pre-birth right through to grandparents in the drop-ins. Yeah.
Onion. I need to cook that.
Yes, so some of our parents, our mothers might have mental health, issues, and would have been really very depressed and isolated if they didn't have us to come to. That's why they were referred in the first place. I feel really strongly that was important for some of our mothers, that we were available for them, and I think that also would have impacted on the child. So just those weekly or twice weekly sessions, I think was really good to have a routine. We've often been told it was so nice to have a bit of a routine in the week, especially if they're isolated and don't have any family or friends nearby, and most of them that were coming were in unsuitable accommodation, really, like studios, 2 children, 2 parents in a studio flat. So it's just important that we could give them that access. Well, we have families with complex issues, and that has come up over time, and we are linked with social services and we support as best as we can. But yeah, that does happen. Yeah.
Happy Nurus then. Happy Nurus.
Well, the trips were really good fun because we could have the whole family come, including really teenage daughters and sons who were like in their, late teens, coming along with their whole families. But we went mainly locally. We went to Battersea Park, but we went to the Children's Zoo. We went to do some mini golf there and socially distanced picnicking, bit of paddling in the paddling pool. and that was lovely. We went to London Zoo in the following half term, which was a real treat. And so we did, and we went on the river to Greenwich Park. So we mainly went to parks in London because most of them are accessible.
And you can't get that screen. I even contacted the company and they sent it 3 weeks later.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's not.
It was really nice. We said, make sure you sit separately for your picnic, but then of course the children just went off and played, which was lovely, and it was just at the end of the day everybody felt really happy, and it was just really relaxing and just lovely. We hope to do a lot more of those.
Plastic bottles, isn't it?
Well, we want to run probably a summer scheme. We want to get back to our after-school club, which has lots of nice things in it, like gardening and cooking, and basically for the young children to play and have a nice time with it. We want to do homework club. We want to run drop-ins. We want to have a bit more more of a learning focus for parents as well, access to all the services that are here. We just need to get back really and start doing stuff. From drop-ins for under fives, for their parents to come and play, and the children to sorry, I said the parents to come and play. It's because I was worried about her. She was going to come and get your camera.
Don't worry, carry on.